welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is just a cartoon that I thought was pretty funny. Also, I have this short clip of a large boomerang-shaped UFO, most likely very similar to the Phoenix Lights incident. Also, I have this short video here about the Kumbergaz UFO sighting, where they were able to get a shot that was close enough to actually see the occupants. Now, the quality of the video isn't that great, but you can make out that there are some beings in this opening of the hatch, and this guy does a good comparison, shows you the differences. Now, this UFO was seen over a couple of years, and then nothing after that. Also have this video about some of Billy Meier's secret photo album. And then here is a video that was sent to me from David Canty of the Citizens Hearing on UFO Session 10. I think the whole thing lasted like 3 days, but with all of the congressional hearings happening now, I just want to let people know that disclosure has been taking place for a long time, and I really think it it began with Stephen Greer, when he held his disclosure project. Now, this citizen hearing on UFOs was sponsored by Stephen Bassett, who's a UFO lobbyist. So we'll just take a look at some of that. Also have this clip here of Nick Pope being interviewed on this vetted YouTube channel. And here he talks about some of the theories of where they come from, and he also mentions that they're ultra-terrestrial as opposed to extraterrestrial. Ultra-terrestrial meaning they originate from this planet. Also have this video here about Anonymous and how they are creating a website so that people who have information can submit the information to this site, because they really feel like the government is, withholding information from us. And let's see, I got this clip here from Reddit. This is a video that some guy put together, compiled. Here's a video I compiled of different presidents responding to the UFO question on various late night shows. Again, I get that there are some people out there who aren't going to consider, disclosure actually happening until a world leader, someone like Biden, right, comes out and actually acknowledges it, as opposed to, disclosure being a process. That it's an ongoing process that I believe started with the release of the Roswell information. And, and through all the years, we've been conditioned with movies and through Hollywood to, accept the idea of UFOs. And I've heard that's all part of the plan. That, there is a timeline happening when certain information is supposed to be released to the public, because according to John Ramirez, a retired CIA officer, he said that sometime in either 2025 or 2027 that there's going to be, or they're supposed to show up or something. I'm not too sure what's exactly going to happen, and I think that range, it's a large range, because they're going to gauge when the majority of the public would be most receptive to this information. Also have this file here of the timeline of UFO sightings and things like that, and it starts with the Roswell incident in 1947, and then last is this article here on how and why of George Knapp, who believes that there's this company called Radiance Technology that he believes they're involved in reverse engineering UFOs. And you know what? If you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing this information to you, please like this video. Please share it, and most importantly, please subscribe. And I found out, I was looking at my analytics, and it seems that only 1 in 9 people are actually subscribed. So, because of that, I'm not going to be uploading videos every single day anymore. I'm going to try and do it every other day, or when I can just gather enough footage, because for whatever reason it's getting a little tougher to find videos of UFO encounters that people take. But again, my email is in the description or in the information. I think if you go to the About page. So yeah, if anyone has any footage that they want to send to me, yeah, please send it to bartroberts2003@yahoo.com. But anyways, let's get into this video here. Yeah, so now this is just a cartoon that I thought was hilarious. Two aliens show up during Jesus's crucifixion, and see, like what they say, you know what we need to do? We need to get the fuck out of here. That's what we need to do. I think this is so funny. But yeah, I think it's definitely a testament of our attitude, because yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we seem to have this shoot first, ask questions later mentality, or at least some of us do. I can't generalize everyone like that, but I thought this cartoon was pretty hilarious. Anyways, let's go to this video here about this large boomerang shaped craft that was seen. I'm going to turn that music down. I don't think we need to hear that. Yeah, but it's kind of hard to see, but you can definitely make out a boomerang type shape. And I wonder if this was the same craft or a similar craft that was seen at the Phoenix Lights incident. This is supposed to be like a huge mile-wide craft, and I think that if these crafts were coming from faraway planets, why aren't any like amateur astronomers photographing these, or seeing these things? Out of all the videos that I've put up, again, this is my second channel. YouTube took down my first channel that I'd been working on for like 4 years. I was up to like 8,000 subs. I was coming in on 1,000 videos. So I've been doing this a long time, scouring the internet literally every single day for UFO videos and other information like this. And I have only come across one video out of all the videos that I've ever posted. I've only found one video that was submitted by an amateur or astronomer, or any astronomer. Actually, even like a professional astronomer, I've never, again, except for one. But yeah, there's only been one video ever submitted by an astronomer where he detected a craft and or UFO out in space. And what was interesting is he was really, really reluctant to acknowledge that what he was seeing was a UFO. So I still think that the ridicule and the stigma, especially within that circle, is pretty high. That even when someone obviously is seeing a craft moving through space, he was very, very reluctant to acknowledge that it was a UFO. Anyways, this clip here is a guy that does a short analysis of the Cumbergas UFO sighting, and in this part he just talks about how you can see the occupants in the craft.
See the part that shows the occupants. In the 2008 recording, the object remained with its hatches closed. You can see the reliefs and cuts where they would be located. In contrast, the 2009 video showed the hatches open, revealing what witnesses interpreted as occupants. If you compare the videos from the different year, you will see that the opening aligns perfectly. If we look closely, you can see the occupants. Here are a few pictures with filters applied to see more details. And apparently the occupants are moving, as we can see from here. I thought there were only 2 occupants, but apparently there is a third one. To me, the occupants look like the classic grays. but they can also be the beings similar to the praying mantis. There have been many
Anyways, that's as much as I want to play. That link will be in the description. Let's go to this one here. Yeah, now these are supposedly some photos of Billy Meier.
Flight around our solar system. Here's a picture of Mars. By the way, this is not a professional tape. As you can see, these pictures are in a picture album, and I've just got my camcorder out, and Wendell and I are flipping through the pictures. So this is not a produced tape for you to look at. So it'll probably never be on the market, but at least you get a chance to see some of these pictures. This is Mars just from a different direction with the sun very bright on it. Now, here is Mars, but here's one of these satellites that's in orbit around Mars, made on Earth, unannounced, and is in orbit. This is the spring of 1976, and this device is in orbit around Mars. I don't know exactly who made it or who put it up there. Here's another one. This is Mars again, and here's the light panels, solar panels, and the satellite equipment in orbit around Mars again. This is a different one.
Yeah, let me just say something about Billy Meier. Now, I do believe that most of the videos and photographs that he's taken are authentic and real. And you know what a lot of people miss or aren't told about Billy Meier is, you know, he was a one-armed photographer, and when he was coming out with all of this stuff, he was basically a pretty old dude. But I've read that he was being abducted since he was a child, and that he actually had some type of relationship for a very long time with these quote unquote aliens. And they supposedly look humanoid, like Nordics. And but there are definitely photos that are clearly fake, like the wedding cake photo. That is a fake image of a UFO. And I was told, or I read someplace, that there was an effort to discredit him. So some of these videos and photos that are attributed to Billy Meier were done in order to try and discredit the authentic images and videos that he's taken, which I can completely believe could be done, because even right now, we have all the testimony that just happened in Congress. And when I go through Reddit, or I go through Twitter or Facebook, there are so many people who are trying to discredit David Grush and David and Fravor and and the other guy. So yeah, again, like I said before, I do this every single day. I've been, I look for UFO images. So I know for a fact that there is definitely a small group of individuals out there who must be getting paid, and this must be their job. Yeah, and it's to discredit any type of information that deals with UFO disclosure. So yeah, I can believe. Yeah, even with Billy Meier, back then they tried to discredit him, and one of the reasons I mentioned that, because even in this clip here, let's see, they said that he went back in time and took photos of dinosaurs, which I kind of find that hard to believe. But yeah, here is supposedly a photo of a dinosaur, but look at those arms. I mean, that doesn't look like a T-Rex arm, right? This, to me, I believe, is a fake photo. And then also this one here, right? That's, again, that he supposedly took of a pterodactyl, like trying to catch something out of the air. Now, I don't know how valid this is, but there was someone out there who had a textbook that had this image in the textbook. So yeah, this photo here could be fake too, because like I said, yes, someone actually had, a textbook where this image was supposedly taken from. So, yeah, so even though, people, claim that certain photos were taken by Billy Meier, not all of them, not the obvious fake ones. Again, they were most likely done in order to discredit his real photos. But this whole time travel thing, I find that real hard to believe. Anyways, let me go to this clip here. Yeah, like I said, this was submitted or sent to my email by David Canty, and this is Stephen Bassett's citizens hearing on UFO. Like I said, I believe it was like 2 or 3 days, and this one, let's see, who are the people that spoke? Well, I know Linda Moulton Howe was there. Let's see, here we go. Yeah, Linda Moulton Howe was there. Stanton Friedman was there. I think this is, what's his name? Cameron something. But let me just play some of this. Let me go to right about here.
I'm going to talk quickly about is the top secret memo. It's a 1950 document from Canada, but I want to sort of go around the documents that talk about why this is so important. If you took a look at the top document called memorandum there, you will see, to give you some background, in Canada there was 4 different organizations that controlled UFO files. There was the Department of Transport, there was the National Research Council, there was the RCMP, and there was the Department of Defense. The Canadians, regardless of what anybody wants to say, are playing the same game as the Americans. In the late 1960s, they shut down their UFO program and they released all the sighting files, which is what all the governments are doing. They're just releasing their sighting files. But the actual discussion behind the sighting files as to what does the president say, what does the head of the military think about this, what does the Prime Minister of Canada think about this, that is all the stuff behind. That is the stuff that you will not see. People will release the sighting files, but they really don't mean anything. So in this memorandum, which is the document, you've got it up there, I'll read just the one paragraph. It says, and what has happened here is all the documents in Canada, the sighting file material, has been moved in the 1960s to the National Research Council because nobody wants the documents, nobody knows what to do with them. So the National Research Council gets stuck with these documents. And this is a memo from somebody in the Department of Defense talking about the fact that Project Magnet document is in these files that have come to you. And he gives the warnings. He says, you should note here that the discussions behind Project Magnet are part of this file. And then he says, at no time should this be made available to the public. If you read the very last line, talking about this stuff, the discussions behind the Project Magnet files, he says, a copy of the Project Magnet file is attached to this. The original is attached and should not be destroyed until such time as the UFO subject has cooled off. So the intention was that the Project Magnet, the material behind Project Magnet, the discussions as to what was going on would be destroyed. Thanks to Stanton Friedman, who's sitting beside me, a lot of that material did come out in the late 1970s. So I want to reference you to what they're trying to cover up, what they wanted destroyed. If you look at Magnet Report number 1, which we found in the files of the guy who ran the Canadian government program, you will see Project Magnet Report. I'll refer to you to page 2. At the top of page 2, it says, and this is an official report that sat on the Prime Minister's desk in Canada for 3 months, according to the wife of the guy who wrote it. It appears then that we are faced with a substantial probability of the real existence of extraterrestrial vehicles, regardless of whether or not they fit into our scheme of things. That was the official conclusion by the Canadian government report in 1952, which went to the Prime Minister.
Let me just jump ahead here to this part here.
Aliens chasing those aircraft. And the United States government does not want to release that. It's a long habit. Bad things happen to people. You don't want the public to know. We shot down some Russian airplanes. No word in the newspapers about them approaching the coasts, if you will. It's been done. So if we're going to disclose, we need to have a procedure established. Okay, where do we go from here? I think one thing would be to announce that there are going to be international conferences, international, dealing with the political, religious, technological, etc. implications here. It's a whole new world. Everything changes. It's not just UFO buffs that have things changing.
Thank you.
Yeah, now look, this thing came out in 2013, right? May 3rd of 2013. And there was also a citizens hearing on UFO 2. So Stephen Bassett hosted 2 of these things. And again, and Stephen Greer also had 2 disclosure. In fact, now he's had 3. You know, the first disclosure project was in 2001. So, you know, this disclosure process, like I've said before, disclosure is not going to be a singular event. Disclosure is a process. It's an ongoing process, right? Yeah, our government cannot officially acknowledge the existence or the existence of these crafts because, you know, just like what was revealed or that David Grush revealed in the hearings that just happened, right? There were people that were killed, murdered in order to hide this information, you know, let alone, you know, the countless number of people who had their careers ruined. You know, they lost their jobs when they tried to reveal the truth. So if any, you know, anyone in government, you know, I mean, besides a whistleblower, right? If anyone in government were to actually, again, hold an event, have a one-day event where they acknowledge the existence of these crafts and of these beings, then it will open them up to lawsuits. Because all the people who, and like I said, had their lives ruined, careers ruined by just revealing the truth, that you know that they all have now grounds to sue. So it's never going to, you know, yeah, it's never going to happen. It's just going to continue to be this slow drip, drip, drip of information. At the same time, there are people within government who are going to come out and, you know, and still try and claim that that we don't have any evidence. There isn't any verifiable evidence that, you know, that this is going on. Anyways, let me go to this clip here. Yeah, now this is a long, 53-minute interview of Nick Pope. And one thing I want to say about Nick Pope, he's a government man till the end, right? I'm sure he doesn't want to jeopardize his pension, so he is still sticking to the official government narrative. You know, I think even in this video here, in this interview, he goes back to that old line about there was an increase in UFO sightings after we dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which is, again, that's not true. I mean, now we know for sure that there was a crash in Italy in 1933, and even the Foo Fighter sightings, right? I mean, yeah, we didn't drop the bomb until the end of the war, right? That ended the war, and we know that our Navy pilots were encountering Foo Fighters, you know, before we dropped that bomb. And then going back in the 1800s, there were newspaper articles written about airships in the sky. And then, you know, Lou Elizondo talks about documents that were written in Latin of the soldiers discussing luminous objects in the clouds, watching them battle. So, yeah, this idea that, there's been an uptick in UFO sightings only after we blew up the atomic bomb, that's a lie, right? I think similar to today, I bet you people were you know, someone somewhere on planet Earth was seeing UFOs pretty much every single day, you know, like what's happening now, except now, you know, most people, or the majority of people, have cell phones in their pockets, so, you know, we're getting a lot more footage. But yeah, this has been a never-ending phenomenon. Yeah, you know, these these advanced beings and these crafts have been a part of our culture for as long as we've been keeping track of history. But anyways, let me just play this part here.
Necessarily. What are some popular exotic examples of what these UFOs could be? So we've mentioned that an extraterrestrial, just meaning they've come from another, physically they've come from another part of a universe, a galaxy, right? What are some other exotic examples of, you know, dimension that, like, what
Sure.
yeah.
Well, the three competing, or the four main competing theories. Firstly is the ultra-terrestrial theory. The idea
heard
that,
this.
well, this is the idea that another civilization developed on Earth, perhaps under the oceans, perhaps in caverns that we've not yet discovered, and that there's a second technological civilization on planet Earth,
Wow.
living alongside but separate to us and occasionally interacting, and that's what we see with these UFO encounters and maybe some of the entity sightings as well. So ultra terrestrials is one. A second one, which you mentioned, is the idea.
I just want to say that anytime I see one of Nick Pope's tweets, or or any of the leading figures within the UFO community, I try to make it a point to post up these memes that I have, acknowledging that that these beings, that these crafts are coming from Earth. They originate on Earth. That they're not all visitors. Like I said, some of them for sure have to be visitors. I can kind of believe the whole interdimensional thing, but yeah, I think all of that is just to try and distract from the fact that we actually have these other cultures, other advanced cultures living right alongside with us, just like he said.
Idea that there's some sort of interdimensional intrusion, and again, a few years ago, this would have been waved away as just sci-fi. And now, of course, if you look at string theory, you actually need the existence of other so-called hidden dimensions for string theory equations to actually work. And people like Michio Kaku are actively looking for these hidden dimensions using, for example, the Large Hadron Collider, the big particle accelerator in Europe. So that's another theory. A third theory, which has some traction in the parts of the UFO community, is the idea that this is time travelers from the future.
Okay, I've heard that, yeah.
And
Us, right? You mean us?
Us, yeah. And
yeah, to me, this is the most ridiculous theory that's out there. The idea that that we're coming, humans from the future are coming back in time for whatever. Again, I don't. With my limited human brain, I just can't accept the idea that you can pick a point in time and decide to go back to that point. Mainly because time is a man-made construct, right? Or the way we track time is a man-made construct that's only applicable to humans on Earth. Right? I mean, if humans did not exist on Earth, the passage of time would definitely still be happening, but the way we identify or we break up moments in time wouldn't matter, right? Because the universe doesn't have a clock, right? I mean, our clocks are based on the rotation of the Earth, our orbit around the sun. Right? So the way we track time could not be applied to, say, Mars, right? Yeah, Mars's rotation is different, and their orbit around the sun is also different. So our 24-hour clock and our 1 year cycle, right, would not apply on Mars. So, yeah, so the universe doesn't understand the concept of time the way we have applied it. Again, now, yeah, there's the passage of time, and then there's the way we mark time. And the way we mark time is just based on, right? It's based on our rotation and our orbit around the sun, right? Like, how do you put into a machine, right, a particular date, and then how does the universe interpret that date when again, like I said, the universe doesn't track time the same way we do. Like, even if you go out into space, right? In space, there is no up, down, there is no left and right, right? How do you determine, what the correct orientation in space, right? Those things are all man-made constructs.
And of course, one interesting point about that argument is that people, I mean, the abductions is a whole different conversation, but when you look at abductions and some of the other alien contact experiences, they do look to be essentially humanoid. So the theory is from that part of the community, well, that's what we evolve into. And in hundreds of thousands of years' time, maybe millions, that's what we'll look like. And that for some reason, they're coming back in time, maybe to harvest genetic material, maybe to observe, maybe to change the future and avoid some catastrophic event by making tweaks to the past. Who knows? But the theory is out there. And the fourth one, very controversial, is the idea that it's demonic. Gods, devils, angels, demons, wherever people sit in relation to conventional religion, and even with conventional religion, there are a sort of hierarchy, for example, of angels and archangels, and as well demons, and so some people view this as demonic, and very famously, for example, Lou Elizondo got some pushback from some fairly senior people in the Pentagon, one of whom told him, go read your Bible. So don't be studying this, don't feed it and give it energy, because they thought it was very sort of dark side, i.e. demonic. So there's a lot of different theories out there.
I just want to be open. I think most people...
Okay, that's as much as I want to play with that. Again, yeah, the idea that they're demon. Again, I think there's, that's the explanation for some people who can't accept the idea that, that there are other sentient beings around. They want to stick to this notion that that God only created us, and this entire never-ending universe is all just for us. That's it. All that space, all that wasted space is just for us, which is, again, that's kind of ridiculous. Anyways, this is a short clip about Anonymous and how they want to help get disclosure or speed up the disclosure process, and they kind of feel like the government isn't actually doing it the right way, so they're going to create a way so that people can submit information to them.
It's a possibility. Greetings, humanity. We are Anonymous. We have initiated anonymous project disclosure for a specific reason. We know governments around the globe have lied to the public and have withheld significant information that would absolutely alter the course of humanity. We see greed and selfishness embedded deep within governments, and exposing the truth behind the UAP, UFO, and NHI cover-up would greatly benefit every human on the planet. Whistleblowers state that there are technologies being hidden from humanity that could alleviate fossil fuel usage, power cities and homes, and even cure many diseases. If this is true, we deserve to know. We also deserve to know why this technology was kept away from the public, and we also deserve to know why we were kept in the dark about not being alone in the universe. Currently, the intelligence community and Pentagon are trying to stifle progress on congressional amendments being passed regarding revealing the truth behind UAPs. They've also warned whistleblowers not to testify. So if it's all a hoax, why the pressure to stop information coming out on this topic? We are calling on all whistleblowers that have access to alternative technologies regarding UAP, UFO, or anything regarding non-human intelligences to give us any information you can regarding this subject matter. We understand the risks involved and have created a strictly HTML website that will link to a Tor Onion site. On that site, you can choose to upload files and documents, instructions for whistleblowers. Please use obfuscation methods. We will try our best to make sure you are anonymous in everything given us, but it is up to you to make sure your data signature is as invisible as possible. We cannot stress enough that security should be your number one concern. 1. Do not use your personal computer or any electronic device you currently own. 2. Using a throwaway device is optimal and should be purchased using cash. 3. Do not upload files from home or your workplace. 4. Even though you will be using the Tor network, please also tunnel your connection through a VPN. 5. Use an open Wi-Fi or data point that is not associated with you. This is important. 6. Make sure there are no cameras in the area you are going to be while uploading. 7. You can install an operating system from the creators of Tor called Tails, which can be run off of a USB drive. If you know your way around computers, this should be easy for you. If not, follow the directions on their website, link in the description. Connecting.
Anyway, this is as much as I want to play with that. Link will be in the description if you want to finish listening to that. Yeah, this video is getting a little too long here, so let me get through this here real quick. So, yeah, now this is a compilation of presidents talking about somewhat revealing what they know about the UFOs. But again, they all are definitely obfuscating and kind of speaking in code, or they don't want to reveal anything. Anyways, check this out.
Go through the secret files, the UFO documents. Because if I was president, that'd be the first thing I did.
You know, it's funny. My daughters asked the very same question.
They did?
Yeah.
UFOs. You've been the president. You've seen all the info. Are they real?
The truth is that we've never proved one, but there are things flying around up there that we haven't fully identified yet.
Would you be allowed to tell your daughters what was in those files?
No.
You would not?
No.
Now that you're out of office, you can do anything you want, right?
True, yeah. But I'm not telling you.
You're not telling You're not telling me what? Are you not telling me that you looked at them?
I'm not telling you nothing.
If I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
It'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and UFOs, and I go through everything to find out what happened. Right. Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president. That's the first thing that you would do.
You become president, are you really going to tell the truth?
I have said I want to open the files that I don't think everybody, in their kitchen making them up.
Recently, when UFOs came up on Jimmy Kimmel, she corrected his terminology.
And there's a new name. It's unexplained aerial phenomenon.
All this talk about dem aliens with the what are the UAFs or whatever they call them, all the footage and everyone talking about it. It's like, but I was wondering if you have a theory about that.
Well, when it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you on air.
That seem to defy all laws of physics are.
Well, first of all, that's a...
Wow. You know what? That's the end of that video. I don't know why it was taken down, but yeah, that video is gone now. But you know what? If you can find that clip of Obama talking about what he knows, where it seems like he's joking, I think he's being serious. I actually think that he's actually being serious. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to put the link to this one because that's This video is no longer available. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah, this one here is it's a long document, 177 page. You know, I believe that this was supposedly what was given to Congress or Congress members before the recent UAP hearings. But it's just a timeline of certain events that happened related to UFO sightings going back to the Roswell incident. But it goes from, yeah, July 8th, 1947, all the way up until the present here, February 28th, 2023. But yeah, you know, this video is over 40 minutes long. I would like to get into reading some of this, but this is getting too long. Let me get to this last article here. You know, a link to this will be in the description. I definitely suggest downloading it and checking it out yourself. Last, this article here, George Knapp believes this U.S. company helps governments in reverse engineering UFOs. It says this company here, let's see, Radiance Technology Inc. is an employee-owned small business prime contractor. It has over 900 employees working in more than 15 U.S. and international offices. It serves customers in the Department of Defense, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the National Intelligence Community, the Department of Homeland Security, and other government organizations and selected commercial customers. In 2021, the U.S. Congress passed a bill, soon to become law, that would allow funding to reverse engineer UFO technology. In a few months, the Pentagon created an office to track UAP, and NASA also joined in the investigation. Any data gathered could also be used in funding requests to replicate any such advanced characteristics and performances of UAPs, according to military.com. This means that government plans to encourage the reverse engineering of UFOs. Mr. Knapp claims that this private defense contractor has an office inside Wright-Patterson Air Base that is known for holding alleged UFO material. Radiance Technology has quietly become a major player in developing cutting-edge weapons and systems for the Pentagon, but unlike some of its larger competitors, Radiance, without hesitant, talks about a topic long considered fringe or forbidden: UFOs. Tim Tinsley, a president of Radiance Technology, avidly said that he would like to work on UFO technology if somebody offered them to do it. Why not? He says, I'm waiting for one of those. Tinsley is an engineer who spent 2 decades working on missile defense systems before joining Radiance. Mr. Knapp hinted, as per the information available on the website, that Radiance deals in exotic defense technologies such as Star Wars-like direct energy, hypersonic missile systems to defend against cyber warfare, etc. Hypersonic systems to defend against cyber warfare. Perhaps they're working on other unclassified projects at Nellis Air Force Base. However, Tinsley refrained himself telling about it. I can't tell you a lot, Tinsley said. This is all I can tell you is we've supported the Las Vegas community, Nellis Air Force Base, for over 20 years. He noted the work is mainly for the Air Force in research and development, test, and evaluation programs. Yeah, I think the Air Force, knows the most, and they've also been the most reluctant to reveal anything about this topic, and I think it's because what they would call national security implications, but it's most likely because they're working on weapons systems. They're trying to weaponize all of this stuff, and I think that's kind of dangerous. But anyways, I want to thank you for making it all the way to the end. Like I said before, if you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it, and more importantly, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.